I'm going to tell you a story, and it literally all started with an innocent comment that really affected me for the better part of my 20s and even creeped into my 30s a little bit. I was 19, and when I was 19, I was confident, I was carefree. I remember standing in front of a mirror with a friend, and she was a little bit older than me. She laughed with no ill intention and said something to the effect of, "Be careful what you eat, or you'll end up with that cottage cheese on your legs." And I'm like looking at my legs going, did what is cottage cheese? You can imagine, I mean, I'm 49 now, so back then there was no social media. We just didn't have all of these images in our faces 24/7, and I had just never literally heard the term. She didn't mean anything by it. And in that moment, though, the thing is, something shifted, something changed, and I didn't even realize that it was changing at the time. I didn't realize how I had, ingested that, so to speak. But that single comment planted a seed that literally grew roots. And then all of a sudden, one day, I was fine until I wasn't. And then I became hyper aware of how my legs looked. For more than a decade, I wore jeans, even in 110-degree heat. What I learned about insecurities, the funny, not funny part about them, is that they often start as whispers, right? I didn't realize anything was changing when she said this to me, and it wasn't even with malicious intent. But the thing is if you let those little whispers linger long enough, they turn into sort of these rules that you unconsciously live by. We all have that one story, I feel like, that we've told ourselves so many times that it stands out to us as a truth. Whether it's I'm not thin enough, my skin isn't clear enough, my legs aren't pretty enough. But what if, just for a moment, you asked yourself, who decided that? I mean, years later, I met an actress while working on a film. Okay, and this does have some connective tissue, so bear with me. She was young, she was beautiful, she was full of life. She was definitely someone that I looked to and just thought, wow, this young girl has it all. Until one day, and this was years later, remember, one day, a tragic accident left her without one of her legs. And I learned this actually in such a weird way. There's a little town, when I say near Austin, about an hour and away from Austin, called Wimberley. And sometimes in the holidays, we will go there and walk this town square because it's very beautiful. It's filled up with lights. It's very quaint. You can find unique, Christmas gifts, or just have a latte and walk around, which is usually what we do, and kind of like window shop just for a fun activity. And I was walking around in Wimberley, and I stopped at this little store, and I saw a note saying basically it was taking donations for this person's name, and this person's name is very unique, and also it had her last name, which I recognized. So I asked the front desk person, who is, like, what happened to this person? What happened to this person? And the person was young and didn't even know any details. It was just like a worker. I'm sure the owner of the business had put this up. And so I went, and, what do you do when you don't know something? You Google it. And that's where I found out that this person that I had worked with so many years ago on set, at such a young age, had lost one of her legs. And that news literally stopped me in my tracks. I remember thinking, my God, I've been hiding my legs for like 10 years. And that moment was another shifting moment for me. It shifted everything for me. Gratitude literally replaced judgment. And I started thanking my body for what it can do instead of criticizing how it looked. Now, I'm going to be really transparent. It didn't happen overnight, it didn't happen in one snap or blink of an eye, but it really did shift my mindset, and it made me look at things in a different way to where I could ease myself in to this new thought process, this new way of thinking. And as women, especially over 40, I feel like we really carry a lot of invisible scars from things people once said to us, words that outlast the memory of who even said them at times. But here's the truth: the most powerful anti aging treatment in the world, I believe, is self acceptance. It really is. When you release shame, your energy changes, your face softens, your eyes brighten, your skin glows differently because your body finally feels safe again. So, today, instead of judging what you see, I want to encourage you to try thanking it. It's very simple, right? Try thanking your legs for walking you through the storms. Try thanking them for allowing you to dance. Thank your face for reflecting your story instead of like focusing on whatever new line or wrinkle we see. Thank your heart for still choosing love over bitterness, because that gratitude will do more for your beauty than any serum ever will. Here's the glow note that I want to leave you with. Your worth was never meant to be measured in mirrors or in jean sizes. It lives in the quiet strength of who you are when you show up anyway, with your flaws and your scars and your dimples and all. So wear the freaking shorts, take the picture, and let your light hit the places you have kept hidden, hopefully not for 10 years. The more you know, the more you glow, my friend. Wishing you a blessed and beautiful holiday season ahead. Ciao for now.